So, hello and welcome to the Cynic's Guide to Hippie Shit. I am here talking about equine energy. That's what we've decided we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I am here with Mandy Kelly, and we're going to be talking about equine energy. And first question, obviously, is what on earth do we mean by equine energy?
We are talking about the absolutely magical feeling of just being in the presence of a herd of horses. Yeah, and that sums it up.
And what is that feeling? What can you describe what that is?
Um, it's it's magic. It's the electromagnetic fields that our bodies hold. Horses, their heightened senses, their heightened emotions, and the fact that their heart is 10 times bigger than ours, they throw
Really?
out, yeah, they throw out such a strong magnetic field that we get pulled into it. Um, it's like if you walk into a field with my horses, my herd, you'll automatically be drawn to one of them. And that'll be because that horse has sensed something about you. And it's it's that feeling of being that kind of that magnetic connection. It releases the hormones, it releases serotonin, it releases an adrenaline. It can actually lower your heart rate. And these are all the things you feel within minutes of being around them. And you don't go there expecting that. It just happens. And it's afterwards when you're reflecting and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I was stressed or I was worried or I was thinking of this, that, the other when I came here. And now it's like, it's gone.
So how do you work? What is it that you offer? You mentioned having a herd of horses. How many are we talking here? What is it that you do with them, and how big are they?
So we have 13 horses that live with us, all UK native breeds. They range from just over my waist height. So I think he's about 45 inches, maybe, our smallest,
Oh,
right up to 8 foot tall. Like it's 15, 3 hands. So like his back is like here.
wow.
They live together. They live what we call a holistic lifestyle. So they live as close to a natural environment as what we can give them, but they're never locked in a stable. They're never left on their own. Horses are herd animals. They don't deal with that very well. They are ridden by me and my daughters, just not very often. But what they do on a daily basis is equine therapy. So we invite people to come along, whether it be a group, a family, or single one-to-one sessions. And they come and they get to come out into the paddocks, come onto the living space where the horses are, and share it. Start off just being in that space and feeling that energy from them. A lot of talking, a lot of silence. But yeah, it's just about being there. And this time will grow, and we'll do things like clients will come in, they'll groom the horses, they'll get to know a particular horse that they're drawn to, and they might then move on over time to do activities and games, or they might just come and sit, coming and sitting in the field and just having them around you, being able to hear them and feel them is what a lot of people take the biggest positive impact from.
So the only thing so obviously equine therapy's been around for a while. And I remember reading a book called Horse Boy. I don't know if you've come across it. It's Kristen Neff and her husband have a son with autism.
Yeah.
And it's all about how I think they just randomly happened to be somewhere where there was a horse, and suddenly his behavior changed.
Yep.
And they realized that there was something that he was getting that was helping him to calm. And he started to develop because of this contact he had with these horses. And they ended up doing this whole shamanic kind of experience where they went off, and it was a whole big thing, and it was really fascinating. But there was something about the connection that he had with the horse that helped him to, I suppose, come out of where he essentially was quite locked in terms of the effect of his autism.
Yeah. So you find, especially with autism, but with a lot of mental health issues, the symptoms of mental health, being around the horses, they're empathic. They can feel that energy from you. And they'll tune in to those negatives and turn them into positives. So if you're quite isolated or scared, they'll come and they'll make you feel safe. If you're worried and stressed, their energy, it will help you to relax. They really, we call it mirroring. So it's whatever emotions or feelings you have, and sometimes you don't even know about them. Sometimes they're right inside here and you don't realize that's what you've got, but the horse feels it and senses it, and the horse will mirror that. So we'll find that if one of the clients will come to us and they're really anxious about being close to a big horse, the bigger horses will step back. And that's when you'll see the smaller ponies will step up and come forward. And that's all without me going, you're too big, don't come near this client. They can do that themselves. They know that. I mean, I have a young girl with us at the moment. She's been with us I think she's done about 18 hours with us. And I have one pony who is I call him my go-to pony. So anybody who's never been around a horse, we take them to Bambi. And we went in and we come into the paddock and we could sense that she was very, very withdrawn, very, very worried about the whole situation. So I went to my go-to pony, and he point blank refused to be anywhere near us. And we didn't spend any one-to-one time with the horses with her for a while. But Bambi, who always comes, always says, here I am, touch me, groom me, I'll stand here and you can do what you want. Even he kept his distance because he knew how strong her anxieties over the horses were.
Wow.
And just after a few weeks of her being in there and around them, she connected with another horse, which I would never have thought of. I would never have put him with her. But that was the connection that happened, and they've grown a really strong relationship over the time.
Wow. So is there evidence, like, have there been scientific studies done on this?
There's a lot of research, a lot of, obviously with mental health and with animals, they can prove that these animals have these positive effects. They know that being within the company of horses reduces cortisol. They know that it can release endorphins. They know it can release serotonin. But the effect that actually has on the human, they can't pinpoint it. They can't put figures on it. So yes, there's lots of research, there's lots of positivity, there's lots of paperwork and documents out there that will tell you X amount of % of autistic children who work with horse therapy have X amount of positive impact and benefit. And like you were saying, not only does it affect their mental health, but it can help them to grow neural pathways to be able to change behaviors as well. But the actual scientific research of it is very minimal still.